alongside my critique partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello, hello, hello.
And San Fernando's own Doe Boi.
What's good?
And this is another episode of Retrospect Reviews, the hip hop edition. So today we'll be talking about two albums, both of which will be celebrating their anniversaries this month. The first is 1993's Black Sunday, which was released by the West Coast Latino group Cypress Hill. And the second album is Teflon Don, which was released roughly 8 years ago. Yes, 8 years ago actually, from the boy kind of Ricky Ross, aka Rosie. So yes, we'll be talking about both of those albums, right? So but we'll start off first with Black Sunday. Before we get to the album itself, right? So a couple things I have to confess, right? So one thing, I will not call myself the biggest Cypress Hill fan, but I do understand their place in rap music. They have carved a niche of their own, which is this sort of grimy West Coast hip hop. Well, Latino hip hop, I should say, as well. And also, second thing I want to confess is I've only listened to 3 of the albums. That was the first 3. First one being the self-titled Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, and Temple of Boom.
Yeah, Temples of Boom. Is Temples of Boom or Temple of Boom?
Yeah.
Whatever
Temple
it
of
is.
Boom.
Right. So, Cypress Hill, the first album was pretty good. Well, it kind of reflected the hip hop of the early 90s, which is more about this funk oriented style now. But in their case, they incorporated a lot of like Latino flavor into it now. But one of the big standout tracks from it was How I Could Just Kill a Man. Classic track, I love it. It somehow made it to the soundtrack of Juice, you know, that iconic movie with Tupac Shakur. Hand in the Pump as well, which I'll talk about in a bit. Funky Feel one, Latin Lingo, you know, it had some pretty dope tracks as well. I even especially like the opening track, Pigs. I thought that was like a great way to start off the album, especially with that guitar, that ding, ding, ding. Like I just love that guitar. The next album, of course, was 1993's Black Sunday. And this one, you know, spawned... Well, this one was the one that pretty much put Cypress Hill into the mainstream, mainly because of one song, which is Insane in the Brain. Still a classic song, still an excellent song. But what was weird about just that album itself is that, well, I can't speak for myself because I'm not a Cypress Hill fan. But some Cypress Hill heads at the time will claim that they sold out with the release of this album. That it was like this more kind of, I don't want to say pop oriented, but it had this more kind of rock flavor to it, the energy of it. But then again, when you think about their music, they always had a kind of rock style to it, like their approach to their music. There, it wasn't about, you know, dope lyrics and bars. It was about just energy, you know what I mean? Like if they wilding out, just going crazy, you know. But you know, it was what it was, right? But you know, it still put them in the mainstream. A lot of weedhead, a lot of stoners, you know, started to use their music, you know what I mean, especially with songs like Hits from the Bong and the intro track I Wanna Get High, which I'll talk about in a bit as well. And the last album which I heard from them was I keep saying Temples, but it's probably Temple of Boom. I can't remember, right?
Yeah, Temple of Boom.
Right, Temple of Boom. And this one, boy, really surprised me because they just got dark in this one, boy. Now, I'm not sure if this is the reason why the album was what it was, but I think it had to do with the beef that they had with Ice Cube. I'm not too sure the full details of the beef with them, but I think it had to do with the soundtrack for the movie Friday. Like, they were supposed to have a particular song, and I think their hook was, well, at least I think this is how it went down, that apparently Ice Cube stole the hook from a song that they either did or they were planning to do for his song called Friday, which was, oh yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air if you don't care. And like apparently it was some kind of thing going on, like he took that hook from them or some kind of drama like that. But basically, you know, they beefed at it, you know, they put out a diss track, one of the fiercest, most vicious diss tracks I've ever heard from them. Like it's just ridiculously vicious now. I can't remember if Ice Cube did anything about it, but
yeah, he did some King of the Hill. Them dropped Wicked, and he did King of the Hill. Right,
yes, right, yeah, you're right. Also, well, just in terms of this song, Cypress Hill even the other members of West Side Connection, which was Mac 10 and WC though, like real brutal. Like I say, it's one of the harshest diss tracks I've ever heard. But other than that, though, the album itself was like pretty dark. Though the beats were just like menacing. Though it was like real like dark shit. And also like Cypress Hill themselves, like Send Dog and Be Real, just came with this kind of grimy approach to their music as well. Songs like Boom Bidi Bye Bye and California, just like really dark tracks, especially Illusions, like probably one of the moodiest songs they ever put out there.
The Muggs production was on point. Like Illusions have probably the most trippiest beat ever, because I mean, yeah, the sitar just flunking.
Yeah, but my favorite is Boom Bidi Bye Bye. That beat though, jeez, boy.
Yeah.
Like a dark, but it like real, it kind of relaxing, but in a real dark way, And even the subject matter like real crazy, like them talking about, hey, we're gonna shoot you, so take a roll of this and don't say nothing because you're gonna die. Boom Bidi Bye Bye. Like it's real dark shit now. But that's the way how the beat sounds. It just have this kind of calming feel to it now. But yeah, continue.
Well, me, I'll say I'm a Cypress Hill fan, but I didn't get into Cypress Hill by listening to Cypress Hill. I was just like, my type of rap is dark rap, so at that time I was listening to Gangsta Nip and Brother Lynch Chung.
Yeah, I really need to listen to his music though. I haven't got around to it yet.
Brother
Lynch Long, yeah. Brother Lynch Long, sorry.
I got sent when I was going to MIC. This had nothing to do with it, but I got sent to the guidance officer for listening to Brother Lynch Chung in class, because the guidance officer, the teacher ended up taking up my headphones. Brother Lynch Chung had a song called Return of the Baby Killer. And he talking about killing babies.
Yeah, I know his songs are like ridiculously dark and violent.
Right. Teacher like, Mr. This is what you listen in my class. Go to the guidance officer. So I like, again, like I a psychopath looking to kill people.
And he's from the West Coast as well too, right? Brother
yeah, he's from Sacramento.
Right.
Anyhow, so I listening to these dudes, and a homie that used to do music with Professor and them at the time asked me why I listen to, told him, and he decided he gave me a few albums to vibe to, and he gave me 4 Cypress Hill albums, a Bushwick Bill, and a Ghetto Boys.
Oh, so it's the first 4 Cypress Hill albums you got?
Yeah, I had them the first 3, and the 4th album is 4.
Right.
So,
yes.
So I started bumping it, and Muggs production again really get me into them as Cypress Hill's a good band. Be Real voice had to get a little accustomed to.
Yeah, especially with the squeakiness of it. All I find like he got grimier in the third in Temples of Boom. Like it just sounded more vicious than the cartoonish way he sounded on Black Sunday and Cypress Hill.
But then, like, when I started really like listen to the tracks them more, realize like these dudes are basically, everybody think they're about smoking weed. These dudes are killers.
I know, right? That's weird. I was gonna bring it up in the actual album review because one thing, like I was listening to Black Sunday, I'm like, okay, people like the weed songs, but it's only like 2 songs that are about weed though. Everything else is just gangsters. So I always wonder like, how do stoners like just associate themselves, or at least assume they associate themselves with like Cypress Hill music if all they sing about is just weed now? It's like Snoop Dogg, like Snoop Dogg don't just sing about smoking weed, but they always associate him as like this rapper that they must listen to when they get high now. But it's like the rest of the album is like Liquor Shot and these songs. So like what?
Yo, Hand on the Pump is the most grimiest song that I hear from them. I like, are you talking about these dudes as hippies and them actually trying to kill people? And then, like, more again, at that time I was into gang music, and then finding out that how they were Bloods. Like, oh, that's why.
I never knew this, because I always wondered, alright, it had to be affiliated with something, with someone. Sorry, I always thought it was like Vice Lords or Latin Kings, but I didn't know that they were with Bloods though. Now it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I never knew this. Like really, to this day, I never knew that.
Be Real and Sendog is Bloods. That way, Mac 10 he did say that he thought about going against them because that he and them is Bloods, but then he like fuck it, my home, he ride it, I ride it.
Right.
So that way I'm like, oh, that's why all this gangster shit comes from them.
Yes.
And then like on the West Coast, it like very few at the 90s, very little crews I would have listened to. And shockingly, Dema Booyah Tribe was the only two that I could really listen to.
Right.
Because Booyah does mix the rap with the rock, and then Cypress does do the same thing, and I like that vibe from them.
Yeah. All right, so Ricardo, I know we haven't. Well, the floor is yours now. So, just tell us about your history with Cypress Hill and the music. Like, how did you get into that group or the sound of the music, or have you gotten into it at all?
Yeah, nothing major. Just mostly through MTV, and then I had a cousin with the album, and I listened to it from since then. That's about it. This was in 1998 or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, it's not a person, not a group I really ever get into, frankly. But yeah, classic tracks to me, just historically, but not. I was never a big fan of them, frankly.
Right.
I was more not.
But
by nature fan.
Yeah, well, I was done with Naughty by Nature as well too. I was about to say, so apart from Black Sunday, you haven't listened to any one of the other albums, have you?
I can't remember off the top of my head, no. Because I remember this album in particular because just the notable cover. No?
Yes.
Yeah, but
that
cover
I
is...
love that album cover, right? It's very rock. It's very like punk rock kind of metal. It has that kind of metal kind of influence there.
Yeah, Muggs says that he says like he doesn't want the album to look dated. So whenever anybody see the album, they don't know when that album dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So they just have that illusion, like how the Lucer do. Like Muggs was influenced by a lot of progressive and psychedelic rock bands.
Well, fair enough. You could tell in the sampling here.
Yeah, so he does things like them. So like this album, I think you're listening like real Led Zeppelin and stuff.
Right.
So that had a lot of impression on the album covers.
Okay, all right, understood. Just last thing I just want to say about Cypress Hill. One song, one of my all-time favorites from Cypress Hill would have to be "Hands in the Air," which I always felt like was a remix of "Throw Your Hands in the Air," which was like a version of their "Throw Your Sets in the Air" song from the Tempest of Boom. And that song, that "Throw Your Sets in the Air" was like this ridiculously like gang song basically. That like
it's a gang song.
Yeah. Throw your sets in the air, like just blatantly there. But "Throw Your Hands in the Air" though, I love the beat from DJ Muggs. I love the collaboration. You hear MC8, you hear Redman, you hear Eric Sermon of EPMD. Love that song, right? From there was like Dr. Green Thumbs. I didn't really dig that much. Tequila Sunrise, sorry, was dope.
That one 4.
Yeah,
that one 4.
Other than that though,
those tracks are good. It wasn't like Temple of Boom good.
Yeah,
but like if smoking weed, you could chill out.
Yeah. But after that though, like in the 2000s and stuff, like I would see Be Real collaborate with other artists as well. Quite recently, he collaborated with Danny Brown on his Atrocity exhibition album. Love that album. This year actually, DJ Muggs collaborated with your boy Doe Boi, Mayhem Lauren. I think it's the Frozen Angels EP. I think that's the name of it. Really dug it. I thought that was dope. Sendog though, haven't really.
He don't really do much collabing and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because they don't really hear much about it.
Yeah, and I
But
mean, who could forget their appearance on How High with Method
yeah,
Man, Redman? You know, both of them is like
and
both of
I
them is
need
like
money.
kindred, bluntheads. Then I mean, they just like to collaborate together. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
I need money playing the DJ. He bugs cow. I need money on the spin.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump into Black Sunday, right? This is the second studio album from Cypress Hill. It was released on July the 13th of 1993. This was the one, like I say, that really brought them to the mainstream. You know, a lot of white kids were listening to Cypress Hill all of a sudden. It wasn't just the Latinos and the gangbangers in LA. You know, it just broadened their style out to a wide audience there. And it's really funny that some people felt that they sold out, that they kind of dumbed themselves down. But I felt that they still stuck to their formula, which is just like wild out straight up gangster shit now. So
Right.
start things off with the opening track, I Wanna Get High. This right here is one of the greatest weed anthems of all time. Sorry, simple, straightforward, and for the 3-minute runtime it has, it feels rather short now. I have a feeling like if it ran longer than that, people would have just fell asleep just off of that beat.
Because the strings.
I don't know, it's also like some kind of bagpipe or something, but I'm not sure what it is. But I like how it sets up the kind of like hazy tone of it, but when the beat comes in, it's really slow, it's just like laid back now. And then, of course, Be Real with that nasal delivery. I want to get high. It's just ridiculous now.
Was it a sitar?
Yeah, that's a time.
Yes.
Sitar, right,
Yeah. You have a couple of like ridiculous, like when I say ridiculous, I mean like hilarious lines that he has, like a line where you say, "Oh, what you messed with, you got to bear witness, catch a hoe and another hoe. Merry Christmas." My oven is on high when I roast the quail. Tell Bill Clinton to go and inhale. Like the way how he raps is just so ridiculous now. But it adds a lot to the mood of the song itself. So yeah,
You know what
like
it sounds like? It sounds like he just smoke a pong and rambling to somebody. Rambling on high man to us.
Yeah,
Right,
it
and
does,
that
it does have a rambling kind of feel to it though, I will not lie, yeah.
Yeah, and that Bill Clinton line, holds up quite well if you think about it, because at the time it was just ridiculous. I never inhaled bullshit. No?
Yes.
Bill Clinton smoked weed, but I never inhaled.
Yeah.
Right.
So, really dug the track. I think it's a great way to kick off the album. Guys, what are your thoughts on I Wanna Get High?
It's a good way to start off the album, yeah. But as I say, if you following the so-called Grateful Dead of rap, that's what they call them.
Right.
You gotta be blazing, and this might really put you to sleep because it's so trippy. It's so trippy. You like the Muggs did a great job on the beat. The beat was way psychedelic.
Yes, it is.
You could at least tripping off on the sitar and and just go and not hear the rest of the album.
I imagine a bunch of like weed heads just did that. Like listen to that opening track, I just didn't put it with the rest. But Ricardo, your thoughts on I Wanna Get High?
Yeah, it was actually surprising to hear a track like this on a rap album coming up now. It's like, oh, this just something like the Beatles will come up with some really 60s kind of aesthetic for a high song. Now you get trippy. It does feel like that, but yeah, they do it for weed, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Love this track. Again, listening to it recently, I was like, oh, well, it just kind of sounds stereotypical, but I suppose at the time, this would have been a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit of weed stereotype at this point, with all this weed culture we could never hear the end of simply because marijuana is still illegal. So that's about it. But yeah, not a bad track, but nothing to write home about, at least now. Back then, I suppose it would be a big deal in 1993, but I didn't listen to the album when it came out, unfortunately.
Yeah, neither did I actually. Alright, so moving along to the second track, I ain't going out like that. This is like one of my favorite tracks on the album, one of my favorite Cypress Hill songs. Just off the energy, like, yeah. Just
that
beat
bass,
alone.
boy, that bass does sound like somebody
That
running up behind with that bat.
And then you hear that, it just like sounds like punk rock now, like this channeling like punk rock into this now. The chorus is crazy, and like I don't know, I just imagine that this is the type of song that like in Cypress Hill concerts, like you see people just forming like mosh pits and just yelling, "We ain't going out," you know, we just going crazy now.
That one does happen. That does happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like all the energy. I like
Guys,
all.
that-
Sorry, go
That
on.
culture, that culture overlapped reasonably well with them. Now that whole rock mosh pit, I won't say black metal, but just some of metal culture, crossing over with hip hop culture, which was a kind of interesting thing in the early '90s because a big part of that was this whole the two cultures could meld kind of thing. And
Yeah.
Right. One thing I love how both Be Real and Sendog sound over it. They sound animated, they sound wild over this, and it's like these grimy, violent
Especially
lyrics just to the
on the
haters,
chorus
to the
with-
pigs, and there's people that they hate now.
Yeah, just how to do the chorus with Be Real that I ain't going out like that. I ain't going out like
Yeah,
that.
and
That's
then
it.
Sendog,
We
"We
ain't going out.
Sendog
Yeah.
always had like this this silly voice though. We going out, you know what I mean? But one thing that I didn't even know about this track actually till quite recently is that when Cypress Hill was on Saturday Night Live back in '93 and they performed this track, they got banned because DJ Muggs lit up a spliff like before, like on air now, like on air before they even started the song. Now I was like, what? You know what I mean?
They did, yeah. I do believe they're one of the rare occasions of having a lifetime ban on SNL. Yep, because of that. It's like them and I don't know that girl who
The
rep
ball head
up.
chick, yeah, the ball head chick.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Sinead O'Connor, yeah. They have a list of them.
She
So-
lit up a spliff. Okay, I was trying to remember what it is she
She
did.
did, she
No,
rip a picture.
she did a-
Right, right. She ripped a picture
she-
of
yeah.
it was
Of the
Bush.
then Pope.
Oh, the Pope. Right, that's what it was. Right.
Yeah, then Pope.
But yeah, so I Ain't Going Out Like That, one of my favorite tracks off the album. And now we get to the track that everybody loves. Everybody loves. This is like the quintessential Cypress Hill songs, whether you want to admit it or not. Insane in the brain.
There's Cypress Hill Beginner 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the song that put them into the mainstream. Everything about the song works for me though. I love the beat though. It sounds like some kind of weird, weeded out kind of carnival reggae. It just sounds insane. The delivery from Be Real and Sendog, I love it. One thing I didn't know, actually I had to thank Genius.com for this one. I didn't know that Sendog's second verse was targeted at Chub Rock though. Apparently Chub Rock, he did Treat Me Right, which was like a big song back in the early 90s, right? Did some kind of song dissing Cypress Hill, so they're like, oh, okay, we'll use this on the clap back at you. Like, I did not even know that.
That when everybody in rap was anti-drugs and he shit on them for smoking weed.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that would explain why Sendor was talking about like you were sumo slamming that ass, putting your face in the grass. I think that's what he mean. That whole fat jokes that he talk about in his verse now is aimed at Chub Rock.
Yeah.
The man was a big dude, was a chubby dude actually, right?
Yeah.
The chorus is ridiculously catchy. I mean, everybody knows it. And I don't know, it's just one of those songs that I just imagine that anybody who was ever insane in the membrane at a point in time could relate to. Like this point in time where you go a little crazy there. It's like, yeah, I can relate to this song.
Not even that. That's the intro alone that's triple off people from people. Who you think you messing with, essay?
Don't you know I'm loco? I just laugh every time I hear this way. But yeah, love this song.
It's a classic.
Love this song. Classic.
Yeah, this track is a classic for me. Again, this is the track that introduced me to Cypress Hill. Everything about this track works. I mean, I'm not into this genre of music, like this rock mix-up kind of something. But yeah, this is just a goddamn classic track. You can't go wrong with across the board. It's our reason. This was how high this got into the charts. It was number 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not surprised there. This is the track that brought that. Bring me to them. So cool.
Yeah. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Insane the Brain?
If Simpsons could have this song on it. You know, it's a great song.
But Cypress Hill was on Simpsons though. They were an episode of The Simpsons. But I can't remember what song did they perform? I can't remember. But I know it was like a Lollapalooza episode now. They were
right,
on set
and then when it was backstage and they talk, it had an episode when they was backstage and they was talking to the orchestra and asked them, "Can you play Insane to Remembering?" And they was trying to play it on the violin and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I need to search for that episode, but that sounds dope. But yeah, I mean, not much more we could say about Insane in the Brain. The song is a classic, right?
Classic, dope sample, dope drums.
Yes.
That
you know, just infectious. Yeah, everything about it is infectious.
The video was dope.
Yeah, I love the video for it too. The video was especially with the colors, where they use some like real bright colors for this one, for that video. Alright, so next track we have is When the Shit Goes Down. What's so funny about this song here is that the censored version of it, or at least the radio version, is When the Ship Goes Down. I don't get it. When the ship goes down, get it?
Yeah. Like some TBS level translations.
I know it. Yeah, but I love the kind of groovy beat that doom 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 doom. One thing about this song that I always remembered for, like always associated for, the movie This Is the End from 2013. That was like one of my favorite movies of 2013. Like my favorite comedy of 2013. Yeah. Dumb, ridiculous. But remember when Danny McBride's character was introduced? Yeah, we saw it together, Ricardo. Remember when Danny McBride's character was introduced and it was him, preparing breakfast and he was hearing this song in the background? I love that sequence. That was a real dope sequence. But basically the song is just them on some gangster shit, about shooting people, getting shot at, etc., etc. The chorus is catchy as hell though. Like when the shit goes down, ready. When the shit goes down. But the beat is like so mellow and groovy though that admittedly I kind of find myself enjoying the beat more than the lyrics, because there's not really much going on lyrics wise. But then again, we could argue it is a Cypress Hill album. You don't really go in for lyrics, you go in for mood and tone and how you want to feel now, how each song makes you feel now. So for me, this song is decent. It's not a standout, but it's a decent track all the same. Doe Boi, your thoughts on When the Ship Goes Down?
One of my favorite songs from them, because as I don't listen to the lyrics them too, but this one, as I say, mood and the vibe that the beat have, it does sound like a western kind of thing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's
like you're watching some kind of western movie, so it put in the mood for something with action.
Yeah, right.
So again, they were my favorite tracks from them. No complaints on this track.
All right, fair enough. Ricardo, your thoughts on When the Ship Goes Down?
Yeah. No, again, ignoring the extremely dumb Monday to Friday plane style, censorship. This is a great track as well for me. It's just mellow. Again, is that it really is a product. It's similar. Just listening back to the album, it was 2 days ago, and I was like, wow, this have a real early 90s vibe to everything though. It's the same way called it by everybody was just exploiting Armin break right through there. So, for me, it's a mellow track. It's not too slow. It just paces itself so well. And it just love this track for me. Its flow works. I could listen to it several times. But yeah, great track for me.
Right. Okay, next track we have. This is another one of my favorites, Liquor Shot. I love DJ Muggs' beat though. It's just so dark and it's frenetic though. And Be Real just like, I don't know, but like the man was just pissed off one day and he just get all vicious with his wordplay here, but like I don't know, like he just hear the beat and just like lost his shit and just went off. And like in this track in particular, like you just hear his dark side come out now. It's even to the point where he talk about in the last verse where he gets shot in the back by some guy's shotgun. But I mean it's crazy, but a real Cypress Hill way now. The beat do knocks. I love the chorus that let it get home, let it shot. Like it's just him just going nuts though. So yeah, one of my all-time favorites from this album. Ricardo, you enjoy Liquor Shot, or is just like a little too much?
No, great track again. Mostly because of the beat in the background. That dong dong
Yeah,
dong dong. You know, that, yeah,
Yeah.
playing. Like, yeah, that just holds my head. I'm nodding for the entire track. I listened to the lyrics, I listened to it recently, but yeah, great track in my opinion.
Right.
It holds up.
Yeah, Doe Boi, your thoughts on Liquor Shot?
Again, they Cypress Hill doing what it does best.
Yes.
Talk about violence. The beat mugs again, whip that SP 1200 like a slave and make these things. And the hook with Liquor Shot,
Liquor Shot.
some real Jamaican-ish now.
Yeah, have a Jamaican kind of twang to it. Yeah, it does.
Again, it getting you hype. It's a track to get hype.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
To do what?
Well,
But it's a track.
that's up to you. All right. Next track we have is Cock the Hammer. This for me is another. Well, this is like I don't know. Like for me, like I kind of forgot how the beat was, but just hearing it again, I was like, okay, this song like real dread though. The instrumentation from DJ Muggs once again is just stellar here. For some odd reason, I don't know how, it made it to the movie soundtrack for Last Action Hero. Like remember that movie?
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
Ask Their Parents.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually a movie. This is pure West Coast gangster shit here, but with a Cypress Hill twist. I love how Sendog kind of starts his song off strong. Be Real kind of compliments him with like two grimy ass verses, and then we have the hook. This Cock the Hammer. You know what I mean?
Cock the hammer, time
Yeah.
for action.
I love the production here though. Like it's dark, it's moody. You're hearing rain, you're hearing thunder in this. As like and in true 90s West Coast fashion, like if you remember Ice Cube's Wicked or Tupac's Hail Mary, for example, you hear
Yeah.
some guy doing some Jamaican dance or patois chanting and the hook at the outro though. But dude, this shit was nice though. I dug this track. Doe Boi, what do you think about Cock the Hammer?
Again, can't go wrong. This is a good track. Good track. I don't read some of the lyrics. I'm hearing one of them. Be Real really wanted to kill somebody, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on a chicken hunt, hunting for a chicken.
Nice thing with the track says.
Get a
more like-
paranoid while I hit you with my Glock clicking.
Yeah, but nice thing with these tracks. Nice thing with these tracks is that you're wondering if it's the weed is not for like, oh well, they just like smoking weed. It's like, oh no, they just need to calm down because they're gonna murder somebody.
That is the need sedation.
Yes.
That's a sedation.
Yeah. But Ricardo, your thoughts on Cock the Hammer?
Yeah, great track. Again, in listening in retrospect, it really sounds like a stereotypical West Coast track. It's like, oh, it's almost to the point of like a parody of a West Coast track. But yeah, this is how it was back in the 90s. Yeah, it's a great track where they hold back there.
Mm-hmm. Right, so now we have the interlude, which is Lockdown. All I have to say is that this is like a beat that I imagine will be playing in my head if ever I find myself in prison. Like, if it's like my first night in prison, I'd be hearing that. Like, I'd just be hearing that on a loop in my brain. Like, if I just spend one night in jail. But that's all I have to say about this interlude. Y'all have anything to say about this interlude or? Just,
Interlude, nothing really.
yeah.
It's not that special.
Beat the interlude.
Yeah. Right, so next track we have is Three Little Putos way.
Three little putos. This was my introduction to Spanish, and I will go to Spanish class and sing this shit low.
But yeah, the mid-tempo piece of this beat and the guitar wailing in the back of this beat, I don't know, for me it kinda gives me this feel like, okay, well, if insane in the brain is just you like just going crazy, this is the hangover that you feel after insane in the brain. It's even to the point where Be Real even says, cause a nigga like me is going insane in the brain. Like he repeats that line from Insane in the Brain now.
Yeah.
Right? This is just basically Be Real and Sendog just telling haters, dude, just don't fuck with us, please don't. Overall, it's kind of sluggish, but like I say, it has this kind of hangover feel to it. But it's grimy as hell, and I don't know. I found this to be rather entertaining to me. So, Ricardo, your thoughts on Three Little Putos?
Yeah, you're right about the sluggish part. It's a track I don't really like out of the entire album. I don't really like all that much. But yeah, it's still a great track overall. Nothing to, I'll say it's one of those I would repeat frankly. But yeah, right. It's just it's more like a laid down kind of track. When I didn't think about that reference when they make where it's more compliment track to Insane in the Brain. Yeah, you're right about that.
Right. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Three Little Putos?
Shit. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little putos. Like West Coast, but so Chicano.
Yes.
Chicano. If you like Chicano music, this was way before Chicano rap. You're gonna be like, yeah, these men spitting the Spanglish good.
Right.
The Spanglish shit, real vibey. And then a gangster song too.
Yeah,
just
it is.
Just hiring them spitting little 1 or 2 vato slangs in it.
Yeah. Right, so next off we have the skit Legalize It. As the title suggests, it's pretty much informing. But to me, this is how I see it. It's basically like telling the weed heads that, hey, don't forget, like, we haven't forgotten the weed songs, don't worry. I mean, we do the gangster shit, but don't worry, we still have the weed songs, don't worry. So just relax there. That's to me like how I saw this skit here. Anything to contribute about Legalize It, or is just kind of like move along?
Skip to the popular track.
Right, and that popular track, boy, is Hits from the Bong. Bonafide classic weed tune, boy.
Yeah.
Just the sample, that Dusty Springfield Son of a Preacher Man sample. Perfect. That bing, bing, and then that Hits from the Bong, you know what I mean? Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. I know this track is just basically Be Real and Sendog talking about just the simple pleasure of hitting a bong, like, don't worry about the spliff, don't worry, let's just play it down, but try a bong. Let me explain to you how the bong works. And that essentially is what this track is about. It has this like light-hearted approach to it, so it's like you could just, like, for me, I just have this dumb grin on my face every time I hear it. And then the beat is just like, I could just get high to this, even if you don't smoke weed, you could just still get high to this song.
Yeah.
Just off the beat alone. Trust me.
Yeah, I cut high off the beat.
Yeah. So totally love this song. I know it made its way into like a ton of weed movies. I think it was in How High, or it's either How High and Half Baked. Either one of those two movies.
It was in Half Baked and
Half Baked. Yeah, it was in Half Baked. That's the one you're trying to remember. I'm not sure if it was in How High. I don't remember. But I know it was in Half Baked for sure.
Right.
It was
so Half Baked was
High because the start off with I wanna get high when Method Man was smoking on the couch.
Yes.
Right.
And then the transition into Hit to the Bong when he take the pull and then fall long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I love this track. It's just so, I don't want to say it's dumb, but it's just so laid back when this, like I say, just that beat alone will get you high. Like the music will do it for you, you know what I mean? But Ricardo, your thoughts on Hits from the Bong?
Yeah. There's a classic weed track again. You hear it on how much thing. And for me, Half Baked is one of the funniest movies ever. For me, again, it's the perfect 14. I am 14. This is funny kind of movie, and I was 14 when it came. So, this is a track that holds up. Again, it's a weed track, so it's up to you if you care about it that much. Again, it's one of these tracks that you only know because weed culture is so pervasive, and it's not legal yet, so people making a bigger deal out of it than it is. But yeah, it totally holds up in my opinion. I was like, oh yeah, this exists. I forget this is on this soundtrack, and then virtually every weed thing out there.
Yeah, this is like a national anthem for potheads. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Hits from the Bong? Like, what else can you say about this track?
The perfect weed song, perfect. It has so very little people that could do a weed song that stands time, or men that could do weed songs and it'll be like, yeah, we believe you. We believe we, and that is Wiz Khalifa, anybody from Cypress Hill,
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg, Currency.
Oh boy, currency, yeah.
Currency and Devin the Dude. If you're not one of these 5 people, your weed song might be a little and style speed.
Yeah, might be a little dry, probably. Right.
Yeah. As anybody else weed song might not stand up. These guys doing weed songs stands up.
Yes,
Right.
for sure. All right, next track we have here is "What Goes Around Comes Around." Right. I like the way how DJ Mugg samples the "How I Could Just Kill a Man" hook in the beat. I also like how the beat kind of maintains the kind of haziness, the mid-tempo vibe from Hits from the Bong now. Lyrically, for me, this is like one of the weak points of the album. Like, I felt like Be Real wasn't really saying that much. It's just basically like ghetto karma in a way. That's what I got from his from this song basically. And like a real subdued man. Like, he's not wild or aggressive. It's just kind of like normal basically, right? Which is weird given the subject matter. The hook is decent enough. Like, what goes around, coming around, kid. It's decent, but not the best that I've heard from Be Real, to be honest. So not bad, but not great, but not bad either. That's my take on this track. Doe Boi, your thoughts on What Goes Around Comes Around, kid?
This track sounds like the deadline coming up. And
Yes.
so,
The album's winding down eventually.
yeah,
Right.
we need a
Closing time, drink, last call for alcohol, that kind of vibe now. Yeah.
And so Be Real, better go in the booth and do something.
Yeah, do something.
Now, compared to the rest of the album, there's just some fat. And
Yes.
you need it.
Right, Ricardo, you agree? You think there's a song that could have been removed or not?
Right, yeah, it's one of those. Well, in the album was short enough, so I suppose I can understand why it was there still. Like, remember, album length I think would have been demands of the studio, blah blah blah. So, well, yeah, if it was up to me, if it existed today, I'd have trimmed this fat frankly. It's not a track I hate, but yeah, it's one of those trim the fat album tracks.
Right.
But really, I have nothing to say special that I was like, wait, this real dread or nothing. It really felt like, oh, this part of the same album, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So next track we have is A to the K. Now, one thing that always stood out to me was the intro that they use here. It's a sample from a movie that I know a lot of like hip hop heads haven't seen it. It's a shame because I think it is literally the first hip hop movie ever made, called Wild Style. If you're not said, you'll know the movie because that's what he uses on the intro for his Illmatic album. But basically, there's a part where some guys at gunpoint is like A to the K, A to the motherfucking Z, right? So this one is like more gangster shit again, more violent threats, more brags. But the beat sounds like a kind of like alteration of how I Could Just Kill a Man, and I find the hook, catchy, and it kind of fits well with the dark tone of the beat. But they could have just punched it up a little bit though, instead of "Hey to the motherfucking KO boy." Like they could have like fine tuned that just a little bit though. So yeah, this is another song that wasn't bad but wasn't great neither. Doe Boi, your thoughts on A to the K?
They like straight drive-by music, man. Yeah, straight drive-by music. They like, you gotta do some work tonight.
Yeah, A to the K.
Playing this track. Playing this track. You just gave mine right. Smoke some of that lace. That what that track sounds like. Like, yeah, they murder music. And the hook, though simple, it just catch you. Because how they do it with the sitting dogs doing the shouting part and yeah, with the A to the motherfucking K, oh boy, A to the motherfucking K, A to the motherfucking K, yeah. That's catching you now. So this again, if they was pressing this album, move this track up.
Right, instead of like lead on. I agree.
Because it's too amp for so low down in the thing. Because that track before that get people mellow.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's the tone though, which it's kind of like a little issue that with the album, like the switching of tones though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I forget who said it. No, you're right about that because again in retrospect, I forget who said it on I think on Twitter or something like that. Somebody said that how album structure just as important as the tracks themselves, as in which track flows into which track.
Yes,
and yeah,
yes, totally agree.
there's a little jarring, I thought.
Yeah.
It is a track that is a little jarring for the previous. It's like, well, we already was here, but you could have phrased back into this a little better in terms of changing the tune. And I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. Right, so next track we have is Hand on the Clock. For me, this kind of breaks up the monotony of the last two tracks well enough. This has one of the catchiest, most memorable beats on the track that like I love that to the background. And it's basically like a remix of their Hand on the Pump track from their debut album, right? The one, well, Method Man and Redman fans remember that they used it at the end of the Rock Wilder, that la 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 la, like they remember that, right? But lyrically, this is like probably one of the most dense tracks he ever put out, because it's not just about shotguns and Glocks, but they talk about the fact that they could be used for self-defense though. But police wouldn't even care, they roll up to you, see with a gun, they don't want to hear that you was defending yourself, they arrest you, put you in jail. Right, so I love that they got a little bit deeper into their lyrics. It's not just about guns and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a great track for me. Ricardo, your thoughts on Hand on the Clock?
Yeah, you're right. This holds up as well. It's one of those tracks that, again, sadly because of all the bullshit in the news, is a relevant track.
Yes.
In terms of they already care about you and what your position was in this situation, but it is a relevant track. As for the song itself, it's one of those, again, slightly trim fatty, but again, subject matter kind of trump the, it's a substance over style track anyway, so it doesn't really matter in that way anyway. So that's just my quick take on that.
Right. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Hand on the Clock?
Well, again, now reading through the freaking chorus, it's about a robbery.
Yeah, that's
about a robbery. Be real, going to buy weed.
Yes.
And dude tried to rob him, and he had a gun and he offered it on some men.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But at the time when I listened to the album, it was so much a carbon copy of Hand on the Pump.
Yeah, you go right out to the hook, which is seemed.
I'll skip.
A kind of they kind of altered it a bit. They changed up a couple of lines here.
Yeah, so at the time, knowing that I had a carbon copy of Hand on the Pump, I just skipped this track. Heard it once or twice and thing, but as I tell you, knowing what it was, Hand on the Pump, nothing to get better than that. So.
Right, fair enough. Well, okay, so clearly you prefer Hand on the Pump.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, teachers would. I think both songs are good the way they are, but I actually do agree with you. Doe Boi. I actually think that Hand on the Pump is slightly better though. It stands out way more actually, especially the beat. Last things last. Now we have Break 'Em Off Some. Cypress Hill basically ends things off on this energetic note. I love the kind of piano-driven beat that DJ Muggs provides. It sounds really tense. It sounds really fast-paced. And simply put, it's just Be Real talking about being in the middle of some shootout, and it's just the kind of shenanigans that take place afterwards. Thematically, it does fit with the kind of gangster vibe, which was like on a majority of tracks in the album. And for that reason alone, I felt that it's just a fairly decent way just to end the album off. So, Doe Boi, you agree with me? You think this is a great way to end off the album, or could have end it off a little bit better?
Not that how the track is booty or anything, but it amp. You can't go out on an amp note, but you have people like excited. You have people all excited, and then at the end.
And then that's the end, right? I understand. Yeah.
So a dope track, but again, if I was pressing this album now, it would be higher.
Right.
Yeah. Album structure is like example album. Again, thing. There's a track I actually like, but again, it when listening into in context of the rest of the album, it is a little off as well. I was like, okay, I like this energy, whatnot. But yeah, this would be what, a track 4, track 3 for you?
Yeah, about 6 for the lowest.
Okay.
Track 6
right,
or so.
right.
Right. Okay, so last words on Black Sunday for me, right? So for me, clearly Cypress Hill's music is like not for everyone, right? So hip hop heads like me just wouldn't really tune to them for like solid lyricism and like complex themes, and I'm still not too sure if like the weed heads who listen to like hits from bong and want to get high before they blaze up, like will just up to this listening to songs like Lick a Shot and cock the hammer afterwards, right? To them it's not about like dense wordplay or beats that like will inspire you to write a rap song of your own, like say Illmatic for example, right? Like is that an album will be like, yes, I love this beat here, I will write my own rap and I will be the greatest rapper. Like it's just basically wild mosh pit gangster shit. That's all it is really, right? But it's like a mixture of like West Coast gangster shit, but the kind of mosh pit kind of rock vibe kind of energy with it, with the occasional smoke break, right?
That's
it.
Best way to say it is like rock music for gang members.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And for me, for me though, it came out at a time when it was always kind of like necessary for rappers to be original, to have your own style, and nobody sounded like Cypress Hill at the time though.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was really a unique song. Again, you had to think of music in terms of the product at its time in that sense. It really, like, nobody was doing something like this now. It really, again, what white work is because it's a nice confluence of cultures. It does the mosh pit stuff and the hip hop stuff, and hip hop now really started breaking to the mainstream now.
Plus with the Latino vibes too. So
right, that is a big factor as well.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, while I wouldn't call myself the biggest Cypress Hill fan, I only listened to the first 3 albums. Black Sunday is my favorite of the group. This was like the first album I heard from them. I loved it. Then, a couple of listens, and I just love the style and the energy of it. It's not as dark as Temples of Boom. It's not as funky as the debut album, but I still think in terms of just showcasing their style, their sound, I think it works. DJ Muggs' production is just superb from start to end. And yes, they don't have a large amount of stuff to really rap about, but Be Real and Sendog still keep the listener entertained, right? So that's all we want. A few songs don't really stand out as much as the others, but still, I kind of fuck with this album. So for me, this gets a very light 4.5 out of 5. Still, my favorite Cypress Hill album to date. Any last words on Black Sunday, Ricardo?
Yeah, this gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me as well. Pretty high up. Again, it's not music for me. Frankly, I'll admit that. But when you think about the time it existed, why they were popular, the energy they had at the time, and how everything, the stars aligned for this album to be successful, and that's exactly what happened. It's unfortunate the precedent couldn't be set for something like this, but in terms of genre mixing in this interesting way. But it was really a great album in that sense. I can't even think off the top of my head any kind of big genre mixing album on this level. Probably before you had Run DMC and them fellas, so we call them where they did the rap rock mix stuff now. But that's way before, so I don't think that counts necessarily. But off the top of my head, I really couldn't think of how you really had a uniting force in let's just call it antisocial male culture. For the sake of the argument. And everything just came together particularly well for this album. It really works quite well, and it's marketed brilliantly. It got the right hype. Again, most of its exposure was on MTV. MTV was a big thing coming up, and I really like this album.
Right. All right, Ricardo. Doe Boi, your last words on Black Sunday and your rating?
Yeah, well, the first time you see Cypress Hill, they don't look like what it is, like gang members or anything. Be Real look like he's the first person in that mosh pit. Muggs is white, and Sendog just looks like he's the dude to be walking around with the bag of weed. And
I know, right?
Yeah, and when you hear the music, it basically it measure everything. The people, the best fusion of all people that from a group. as I explained, with Muggs being influenced by Led Zeppelin and stuff,
Mm.
so it
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that psychedelic rock vibe into the music, with Be Real and Sin Dog being Mexican. It had a Latin vibe into it. With them being with two of them also being gang members. It had a gangster vibe into it.
Yes.
So everything just fused and meshed perfectly. Perfect fusion. And
Yeah.
how and after the Kinks on the first album, as I say, the Kinks being how we'll get the song to work.
Yeah.
They must it on this album. Other than that, it have like one or two. It have one track that I'll say is fat, and other tracks are just ain't placed in the right spot on the album.
Right.
So I'll give it a 4.5.
Fair enough. 4.5 out of 5. Okay. Okay. Cool. So yeah, guys, if you haven't listened to Black Sunday, you'll need to, like, as soon as. All right. So moving along to the second album. This is Ricky Ross, Teflon Don by. So all right. So let me just start things off right with Rick Ross himself. Once again, I am not the biggest Rick Ross fan out there. I will never forget when 2006 actually, when his debut album Port of Miami came out, and the song was Hustlin'. You could not escape that song. That was like the national anthem of 2006. Just
Right.
Cool and Dre's beat. It was something like that's the kind of music that you just had to listen to, like when you're waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to school or to go to work or something. So like just that kind of driving music there. And then of course that chorus, every day I'm hustling, like that was just ingrained into your brain there. Lyrically, we were introduced to Rick Ross. He kind of came off like, all right, I'm the new Tony Montana. I'm the boss of Miami, you know what I mean? And just the lyrics themselves kind of portray that, the whip it real hard, you know what I mean? The third verse with that ridiculous 22, how we just keep flipping that 22 stuff, you know what I mean? There was just so much great moments on that track now. And then the album came out and it was decent. Like, I don't remember much from it. I remember the second track being Push It, which took the song Push It to the Limit from, the Scarface soundtrack. So it fit his style perfectly. And what else? But to me, though, what really kind of made him infamous was when 50 Cent kind of make him out. And said that, no,
Yeah.
you
No,
ain't no,
it
you ain't
wasn't
no, you
50
ain't no
that
drug
did-
dealer, nothing like that, dude. You was
50
a security guard, dog, in a prison. But wait, you're saying it wasn't 50, it was somebody else?
Yeah, Trick Daddy, you pull up on him.
Oh, okay. It wasn't 50, like 50 didn't see anything?
Nope. Trick that bust that file like.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay, I think I'm confusing 50 with, I think it's, 50 said something about some rapper.
Later on.
Later on. Okay.
You think, but it Trick Daddy that bust that file like Ross as a CEO.
Wow. And I mean, Trick Daddy,
Yeah.
of course, representing MIA as well, too. But yeah, boy, this is kind of funny that Trick Daddy, of all people, would I make him out for that, huh?
Yeah.
So the next track the next album we brought out was Thriller. Wasn't really a big fan of that. I know the big song from it was The Boss. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far, right? And I always remember just the intro to the video with him on the bed with like the beat. I love how they sample Paul Revere, Beastie Boys that
Yeah. Yeah.
like I love how they sample that there. I thought TP in verse was decent too, but to me at the time I felt that that Rick Ross was more kind of reflective of DJ Khaled because he was getting big at the time too now.
Right.
So it's more that kind of like glossy kind of glam rap basically, like I making more
Right.
money than you. It fit within DJ Khaled's formula now. But I always remember the video for The Boss now where it's like him on this white bed and had this chick next to him and he bareback. I always remember like imagine if women would have find him to be hot. There's like, ew, come on, right?
Yeah.
So
Beluga wheel.
sorry, was it?
I say beluga whale.
Right, so the next album he had was Deeper Than Rap. I thought that that was a fair improvement over Thriller now. One of the tracks that I always remember from, one that I always loved was Magnificent. which featured John
Yeah.
Legend, and there's even a remix where they even brought in Special Ed because he did the original Omni Magnificent there. But here,
Right.
his style got a little bit more cinematic, it more kind of glamorized the whole coke rap style that he was on there, basically. And yeah, like I thought it was like not the best album in the world, but I thought it was pretty decent. And then, well, afterwards we have this album here, Teflon Don, right? So after that, well, just that's last thing I'll say about him going forward. I still wouldn't say I'm a big fan of him. I felt, but I do find that he has gotten better lyrically, over the past few years, though. Especially like with his contribution to like this year actually with Pusha T's Daytona. Like I thought he delivered a great verse on that album as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I just felt like because at the time I just felt like there wasn't really much that he was saying or doing. It was just yes, I'm making money off coke and that, and then he still kind of bring up his past. But it reached a point where it's like, all right, well, I know I can't be doing this thing all my life. I can't be one note when it comes to like my lyrics now. So let me step out and really talk about the life of being a rapper now. And that's what to me it kind of started off with deeper and rap, and then it just kind of got better with Teflon Don and then his other albums going forward. But yeah, I just felt that he has gotten better recently just because he kind of realized he can't just be talking about coke rap all the time, because yeah, we could kind of call him out on that. Last things I just had to say though before I forget, the album that he brought out afterwards, which is God Forgives I Don't. This was kind of a dud for me, boy.
Nah, that has some dope tracks in it.
Like the only so the one song I really liked from it was So Sophisticated. Like that was real good though, but I felt that Hold Me Back was kind of ridiculous, especially the chorus.
Nah, that was shit.
Oh gosh. The guy clearly sounded like he was out of breath though. Like and then when they reach to like Diced Pineapples, which is like nearing the end of the album, I just like fall asleep. Like swear to God, I just fall asleep, Jed. I don't know, I think it's because you had Omarion and then Usher and then you're jumping into Wally and Drake. I just fall asleep, right? But then when 10 Jesus Pieces come up, boy, that one is Wake Up. That's like one of my favorite tracks of the album though. But yeah, so long story short, I have this kind of love-hate relationship with his music though, but he is there, he's still relevant, and like I say, he has gotten better. I find that, well, I actually felt that his last couple of albums were pretty good, not great, but pretty decent as well now. But not much more I could say. So, Doe Boi, your history with Rosie.
Well, I was one of the first set of people to go and buy Porter Miami. Then, like, I went and purchased the album as a drop because the dude was saying something that I would like to hear. I was a teen at time, everybody was flashy and talking about shoes and shit.
Air Force
yeah, I needed some cool crap in my life. So, and that was right around the time when trap was now building up.
Yes.
And the OG trap heads still trying to find the song. So this was dude was doing the Port of Miami was okay.
Yeah, I mean
okay.
But hustling though, I mean, come on, yeah.
Yeah. Then Thriller came out and disappointed the hell out of me. That was the fall from grace to me. I ain't listened to that album from he till God Forgives. That was long be a Star Records album.
Right.
And after God Forgives, I realized like, okay, he done with the booty shit. He back online. And all the albums that I find coming out after that, he running.
Right.
And as I said, the man might not be the best lyricist, but he's the most improved. Year by year, you can see the man getting better.
Yes, that much I could agree on. He has shown growth as an artist. No denying that.
One thing I would applaud about he know how to pick beats. Because there are great rappers that has picked booty ass beats. Nas is one.
I can agree with that. I can attest to that. Nas has been notorious for that.
Yeah, Ross could pick beats. He could go in the studio and pick out a hit.
Yeah, and he's always picked like these real cinematic kind of lavish kind of beats though, and he's just flowing them well, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then you
Ricardo.
can-
Yeah, Ricardo, your thoughts, your history with Rosie.
Yeah, is again, yeah, not the biggest fan, but it's one of these people that stay in my consciousness. For me, the Maybach music tracks is you keep waiting for the other one.
Yes.
Well, there's a track on this album that is my favorite track of his of all.
And I think I know what it is, and it's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a bit, but continue.
I don't know, but he's a person that, again, he's like DJ Khaled, but with a little more talent, right? He just knows how to pick tracks. Always keeps his film in the live night. You somehow should hate these songs when he's in it, but then he'll do some great songs as well, like that song with him and Skrillex for the comic book movie.
Oh, for Suicide
It's like,
Squad.
yeah, there's a-
That song is insane.
It's a great track.
Yeah.
And like that,
But-
the song that you do for Django too.
Oh,
Right, yeah,
yes,
stuff like
yes, yeah.
Yeah, good. I don't know. He's somebody that, again, is only because he get called out to be a bit of a fraud that kind of hurt him in my eyes a little bit, but not a big deal in the grand scheme. So, yeah, he's an artist. I don't love, but he's, again, one of those who just know how to stay the limelight. And you need a big, literally larger than life rappers to be there, to have the presence felt now. Because you don't really have any big fat rappers in
know,
existence
right?
that
Yeah.
way. So you
I mean,
cannot take that.
Biggie's gone, Big Pun gone,
Big
so,
Pun, right.
and Fat
Yeah.
Joe got slimmer. Well, actually, he got slimmer as well, too.
Yeah, that one I gotta say. I didn't know this dude was weighing 300 pounds.
Not a huge, yeah, he's big.
Yeah.
That a walking heart stack.
Yeah, I think he's really big.
Yeah. One thing I just want to say, well, quite recently he made an appearance on both Empire and a movie that I reviewed for BSB to be, which was Superfly, right?
Right.
So it looks like he is trying to branch up, but luckily he's just in small roles now. Not expecting him to be like headlining some movie anytime soon.
No DMX shit.
No DMX stuff. No, none of that. That's like the last thing we want, though, to be honest. Right. So now we focusing on the fourth album from him, which is Teflon Don. This came out July 20th, 2010, off his Maybach music label. And this one, well, a lot of people actually claim that this is his best work. And I would say right off the bat, I could kind of agree, but that's just that I just see it in terms of music that I like from, songs I like from. It's not like a die-hard fan from it to say, yes, this is the best thing that he's ever done. I can't say that for sure, honestly, right? And as the title suggests, no, this is not a reference. It is a reference to John Gotti, but this is another thing I'll talk about now. His whole like crime, his whole gangster talk, basically, right? So kicking off the album is I'm Not a Star. I remember there was a little music video for it. They used to have it on MTV Jams. It wasn't really big and all that, but I remember it being remade or remixed kind of in Lil Wayne's The Carter 4 as John. I love Justice League's beat here. Sorry. It has this kind of dark cinematic feel to it. That dun, 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 dun. Like, to me, this is like the entrance music. Like, if Rick Ross was in his own movie, like, this is like the entrance music. Him driving the Aston Martin. I just hear dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? But I love the energy that Rick puts into this song here. It is very ferocious in it. And he does have some memorable bars here. Like, I like what he says, like in the intro. I'm not a star, somebody lied. I got a pistol in the car, a 45. If I die today, remember me like John Lennon. Buried in Louis, I'm talking all brown linen. And all of my bitches tattoo my logo on the titty, which is like, ew. Put a statue of a nigga in the middle of the city. Load up the choppers like it's December 31st. Roll up and cock it and hit them niggas where it hurts. Told on my partner and help them crackers give them 30. I told him I got it, therefore I gotta do you dirty. Like, just the energy of it, you know what I mean? And just last thing I want to say, the I'm Not a Star refrain, it's not like him being modest or anything like that. It's far from modest, but it's more like I still have one foot in the dope game, quote unquote, and one in the music business, basically. So it's like, don't look at me like I'm some kind of big superstar or some hero or some. So I I do my dirt, by making money anyway. So for me, this is like a great way to kick off the album. Ricardo, your thoughts on I'm Not a Star?
Yeah, solid opening track. I remember the video for this being kind of typical Rick Ross video,
kind of typical.
Right, but yeah, it's a solid opening track. As I say, it's the movie track. That's a good analogy you used there. Nothing to write home about, in my opinion. But the thing with it is that it is one of those. Well, you're not supposed to think about it too much because it's just the opening to start you off. If you understand my point, that's how I just think of it. It's just flow, start you off, and then you move on. But it's not something that people will be like, "Wait, boy, that's the track they're gonna be bumping."
Yeah,
it's just an album. It's again the album structure, design type, call now.
Right, like this is not Detroit State of Mind or back in the days or something like that. This is just the start of the album. That's all there is. Doe Boi, your thoughts on I'm Not a Star?
This is the proper way for Rick Ross to start off album. But just a smacking somebody's face like, yeah, hard beats, drug flow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They like totally, they real Miami music. They like top low, riding in your Chevy, top off, car is thumping, letting everybody know that how you're selling boogers. So it suit Ross. This track suit Ross. Ross did a good track.
Yeah. Okay, so moving along now to Ricardo's and my's one of our favorite. Well, I know this is what you was talking about, Ricardo, but yeah, this is one of our all-time favorite Rick Ross songs, Freemason. I love the beat for this. It's so soulful, but it has this kind of triumphant kind of beat to it. Like you just overcome everything and you just on top of this mountain now. It does have a kind of early kind of Kanye feel to it, but that's a compliment. Trust me, it's a compliment. Speaking of Kanye, John Legend is there. He provides some really nice soulful vocals on the track. I love what he does on the final verse. His contribution to that track, love it. Jay-Z do his second verse, brilliant. I love that. I love how he flipped the whole conspiracy theories, because if you remember, like in the from the mid 2000s going up, this is whole Jay-Z's with the devil and all that kind of stuff. So I love how he just flipped all that now and just more or less talking about he just credited his success to God, or at least another higher power basically. Rick Ross, I thought that his verse, like his first verse though, brilliant. I love it. Like some of the best lyrics he's ever written in my opinion. I love how he flips the whole Freemason philosophy as a metaphor for his success in the rap game now. Like success of the whole Freemasonry stuff. Just a little segue here. Apathy, underground rapper, one of the best in the game, put out an album this year called The Widow's Son. This is more of him kind of focusing on that whole Freemason stuff. Not too much of it, but it's a major part of that album. It's one of the best albums of 2018. Listen to that shit, right? But if you want to kind of understand the whole Freemason stuff a little bit more, I strongly suggest you dig into that. Because there was always like this kind of like notion that Freemasonry was like devil based and it was all with the pyramid and all that kind of stuff. It was evil, you know what I mean?
It's one of those things that was super popular in the 60s and 70s, and why people didn't like it so much, obviously for kind of obvious reasons, is it was very explicitly secular, right?
Yes.
Right, but secular. It was like I don't think it was particularly secretive. Because a lot of people who was open Freemasons back in the 60s and 70s. But what
you don't know what it does. They just know that he's a Mason. They go to this place and
but to me, most of it is no different from when somebody don't know what Catholics do or the details of what a particular religion does do when you get to higher enough now. And that's how I think about it. But it wasn't like atheistic, but it was explicitly secular. That is what it did. And for them to subvert it in this way, that is what was really interesting, because it's like, Jay-Z's not a Mason, and he has a great line in it now. The line, my favorite line Jay-Z has is, he said, I said I was amazing, not that I'm a Mason. Not that I'm a Mason. It's amazing that I made it out of the maze I was in.
Yes.
Yeah. That flows so perfectly. And then again with Rick Ross, the point of then I JFK, I joined forces with the Kings. Love that line.
I love that line. Yeah. So JFK.
It works so much. Yeah. And it flows well in terms of like if you want to get into quote unquote real history of masonry, a lot of it is to do it with slave power. It's people who had actual knowledge but not royalty, no? And it's that control of the world in that sense. Like, well, if I have real knowledge, why would I have to listen to some royalty people? And it ended up being a big race thing as well. There's a lot of black people who's part of this, right? Unfortunately, for better or for worse, and it get into that whole back and forth now.
Yeah.
It's a track I really like because again, it subverts the material so well now. You know,
Yes.
especially when conspiracy theories were very rife when the track came out. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Freemason? Do you love this song as much as we do, or is like, yeah, it's nice, but
It's a cool song, eh? Me, I like it as much as I like extra like this. I like
it's how clever it is that how like
He
into how it
kind of-
subvert the Freemason stuff now.
how they flip it.
Yeah.
I love how they flip it.
Yeah.
I love how they flip it. But like, as Ricardo was saying, in how people were perceiving the whole masonry stuff at the time, like they drink blood and
Yeah.
they drink blood and they do this and they sacrifice children and yo, I like Masons them are just people that admit that how they seek knowledge to build on, hence Masonry.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
and
And it's what it is. It's a big debunking of because a lot of it is just to do with subverting royalty, and because royalty was so tied up with the church, it ended up subverting the church as well. Like if you just go back, that's all it is. Like it's just a bunch of guys who just
share
a lot of this was-
knowledge.
right,
Like,
and it's like a lot of this that we thought that was important is actually not that important. A lot of these people who think they market themselves as important, not that important, and we try to subvert that with power. That's it. But you know, it's that's for all the models for a lot of people, so it's a big thing. But in the context of modern conspiracy theories, the track works so well now. And again, because I was so annoyed of my rule of thumb is that if somebody accuses you with conspiracy theories, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, like I was a big fan of Jay-Z in that sense. Is that Jay-Z actually really smart and is actually make intelligent decisions as a person, and this is not just as a rapper, just as a businessman in general. And to hear all these insane conspiracy theories come out of the woodwork is like, all right, Jay-Z doing something right, and then for him to take a track itself and spin it in their face makes it work even better for me. Now, there's something about the track, just other than the track being an excellent track on its own. I just really like this track on that level now.
Right.
but again, the storyline behind it was dope, and the production. Who produced this? Incredibles.
Yeah, The Incredibles.
Right.
Yeah, them should do some more tracks. This track real soulful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right, so next track we have is Tears of Joy. This is his introspective track, where he looks at his success and he's crying tears of joy. He's like, what did I do to deserve this? He says that a lot, right? No ID is here. He provides this moody piano-driven beat. CeeLo's, I love CeeLo's chorus here. It's very powerful, very soulful. It kind of just elevate the song from just kind of, it just elevate the song to like this emotional height now. I didn't even remember was on this album. Unlike I'm Not a Star, he sounds incredibly humble and modest, even though he does slip into some braggadocious stuff here or there. Like he talk about Biggie Smalls in the flesh, living life after my death, which is like, ha ha ha, I see what you did there. Yesterday I read my horoscope. Tell me, Lord, will I be poor and broke? Tell me, Lord, will I be dealing dope? Crib bigger than a church, Lord knows I'm blessed. 5 different lawyers, Lord knows I'm stressed. It's that kind of stuff there. But he does sound modest and humble here, so I kind of like the song. It's not perfect, but I like it. I like the sentiment of it. It's very soulful, it's very introspective, and I kind of forgot that there was stuff like material like this was on this album though. So yeah, I dig the song. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Tears of Joy?
This to me is fat.
Okay, wow.
This is actually a fat track to me.
But it's a little too long. I mean, the track is like about 5 minutes, so.
Yeah, now I thought I heard too long. It had like 3 tracks like this full in.
Right.
It didn't need all of this. And this track to me is the weakest out of the 3 now.
Okay.
So not that how it asks or anything, man.
Yeah, I mean we understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's just that how if I had the cut, this track would have go.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. Ricardo, your thoughts on this track?
Right. For me, see, we was talking about album structure, and when I got the album, got this album. I don't know when I got this album for the first time. I got this album in like 2013 or something like that. When this album came out, 2000 what?
12.
10.
10.
Anyway, but in terms of in terms of just album structure, I remember always knowing Freemason was the track, and I listened to that, and then this followed up perfectly after Freemason. There was a tone and approach and just the vibe of everything, and yeah, again the soul thing. So I can understand if you're saying it's a fat track, but to me it flows perfectly well from Freemason.
Yeah, I'm saying now how it do flows perfectly though, but it had like 3 emotional tracks one after the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's understandable. But yeah, I actually really like this track simply because of how it's structured in the album and where it comes in. So it just flows perfectly. But
you need that breakdown after I'm Not a Standard, so they can slow it down. But it, as I say, it too much emotional stuff. It's under some R&B-ish now.
I understand what you mean. Compared to what you'd expect from him. Well, I'll talk about this in the end, but continue.
Yeah, but I didn't really get that from it. To me, it was just flowing really, really well. And again, because I mostly listen to albums when I'm jogging or walking, it was just a right style and beat for me. I actually really like this track. And again, CeeLo, big fan. It was fit perfectly. He just fit like a nice Lego piece, just coming perfectly in the style now. So that's how I feel it.
Okay, cool. All right, so next track we have is Maybach Music 3, featuring Erykah Badu, T.I., and Jadakiss. Justin League uses now. For the life of me, I don't know the sample, but it's the one that DJ Premier used off of the "It's All Real" beat for Pitch Black. There was a video for it on BT. I love that song. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Album. I thought my best friend is the only 2 people that own that album.
I actually like that Pitch Black album though. And to this day, I always wonder whatever happened to that group though. I always thought It's All Real was so dread though.
You know what coming out with that second album. One person get locked up. I think that Devious.
Right.
The fella that is Mos Def cousin, he started doing Mos Def thingies, and the rest of the group just fall apart.
Wow.
Okay.
That sucks. But basically, the sample is like what they use with the violins and that. Right? So you hear it over this really grandiose, very cinematic beat that Justice League does, though. I felt that T.I. starts off the strong, like really strongly. I felt that Erykah Badu's hook could have been a little bit stronger, though. And while Jadakiss's second verse was decent, I felt it could have been a little bit longer than, just as long as T.I.'s one. I felt that T.I. just like rap his ass off, and Jadakiss just kind of get like probably 2/3 of the length of time that T.I. get there. And I was like real loving the kind of heavenly kind of feel to the beat. But then it kind of switches to a more dramatic kind of climatic song when Ross comes in. And it's not that I don't mind it, but I really would have loved to hear Ross rap over the first half of the beat now. But then when it switches, it's like something a little bit different. I mean, Ross is doing this thing. He sounds great here. But I just wish I could have hear him rap over the first half now. And then it kind of gradually goes into the climatic section of the beat though. Other than that though, it's not a perfect track, but I do praise the ambition that put into it. It really does feel like this is like end credit music now, and I really did love the string section of it. It has this kind of like Terrence Blanchard kind of Spike Lee joint kind of feel to it now. So praise the ambition. It's not perfect, but I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I loved T.I.'s energy in this. Jadakiss did feel like he was phoning it in, but phoned in Jadakiss is still great, so that was not a big problem. But there's that track. It's that track I don't love, but yeah, because I thought I would be like, oh, it's another Maybach music track, great. It's number 3, and I thought, oh shit, T.I. and Jadakiss on this one. I was really hyped for it.
Yeah, but yeah, moved by this to like just be like, wow, just go crazy off of this stuff. But and the beat does it, but it's just lyrically. Sorry, I wish that the lyrics could have more or less supported the beat. Could have held up on me.
Yeah, compared to what previous Maybach music with Jay-Z, which is a bigger track for me. This wasn't as good, but still solid.
Right. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Maybach Music 3?
I like this one. I like this one. Justice League again. Top class producers.
Yep. The string section in that song, boy. Jeez, boy.
You know them later down themselves, that rock playing on the keys.
Serious?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought they like get an orchestra to do this. I think for them or something. Like they went all Kanye West and get like a full orchestra to do this song for them now.
Yeah, so like the whole thing, the whole song feels good with Erykah Badu on the hook. I thought she had a song out of place on it. Didn't. Feels nice with the track. T.I. doing normal. Yeah, so King shit. Yeah.
I'm the king of the South. Remember that, right?
Kiss do E-Bars thing, and Ross. I like the switch up at the beat to the end when Ross coming in, and again they're good track, good fusion. It work with people that wouldn't really think should be on a track together.
Yeah. Like for me, this is something that Just Blaze would do. You know, he loves these kind of cinematic ending credits kind of music now. But Just Lee do a great job. I'll give them that. Right. So next track we have is "Live Fast, Die Young." This is the collab with Kanye West.
Right.
He sings on the hook that they gonna be banging his shit for the rest of our lives. I not too sure about that, to be honest. I mean, not that the song is bad or anything like that. I mean,
they right or wrong when they before he started to go crazy.
This is like when this is before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy actually, which is kind of amazing.
Right.
But for me though,
they
like
that heartbreaks Kanye.
Yeah. But for me, this kind of runs a little bit long. Like it didn't need to be 6 minutes. We didn't need this instrumental interlude before Ross' third verse. But anyway, you could tell that Ross and Kanye, especially Kanye, so they just having fun on this track. Doe Boi is just all bragging and flossing and oh I fucked 3 bitches, and Ross talking about I donated $100,000 to Haitian kids after the earthquake. But in other words, we just really celebrating the life that we all wish that we lived deep down inside. So it's shallow, but Kanye's beat, which kind of sounds like a leftover from Graduation, to be honest, does have that kind of feel. It's bouncy, it's light-hearted, and you know you could tell that they were having fun. So not a bad track, but one thing though I just have to make mention, that last line in Ross' first though, kind of creepy though, where he says she came to party like it's 1999. If she died on my dick, she would live through my rhymes.
Right.
Kind of on some dark territory there by Ross, but like trying to choke the bitch out, like what going on here? I don't know, but yeah, not a bad track, but not a favorite of mine. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Live Fast, Die Young?
Too damn long.
I know,
Too
right?
damn long.
Too damn long, boy.
Too damn long. Them could I do that in 3 minutes, boy.
Yes, totally agree.
I'm gonna do that in 3 minutes, but and it okay. It filler. We need certain amount of tracks. Filler.
Yeah. Ricardo, your thoughts on this track here?
Yeah, slightly disappointed in this because I saw Kanye West's name on it. I remember the time listening to the album, I was like, okay, hyped for it, and then it wasn't so good. Again, you're right. Probably the length is what held it back a little bit. But yeah, it's still a good track. Not brilliant, but yeah, in retrospect, it is skippable. So
right. Okay, so next track we have is Super High featuring Neo. Right off the gate, the breezy, laid-back kind of blaxploitation kind of beat makes for some great daytime riding music. Neo's vocals fit the beat snugly. I love his hook and his contribution to the third verse actually. I like how Ross approaches the beat in this upbeat, slightly relaxed manner. He does justice to the beat to the beat itself, really laid back as well. And for the most part, he succeeds though. Even though for a few lines I wish that he could have reworked. Like I really didn't like the second verse where he says, "I want to buy my bitch every bag, and she ain't ever gonna take him back." And he says it like he opens and closes the second verse like that, and I'm like, really, bro? Like twice in the same verse. Like, come on, man. ever, like, come on, man. Anyway, overall, this is a nice track. I mean, I enjoyed more than the previous track, I'll say that much. And I actually remember enjoying the music video for this. Like, the music video was on heavy rotation, and I actually remember really liking the video, though. Really, really pleasant, you know what I mean? So, that's all I have to say about Super High. Ricardo, your thoughts on Super High?
Yeah, again, nothing to write home about. Good track. Yeah, there's one of those that I've, almost everything up until this point, after this is kind of skippable, frankly. But I remember just, again, it's a jogging track, but yeah, just kind of tune out at this point.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So I can't really say anything about it because it's one of these tracks that I really don't revisit at all.
Understood. Doe Boi, your thoughts on Super High?
Super High is just what it is. Super High, and like opening a seal bag of kush and just taking a deep breath in. Beat Clark Kent do justice on this beat. The beat real relaxing.
Yep,
It's just like smoking and relaxing and being super high.
Yeah. Alright, so the next track we have is number 1, and this to me is
Lord.
the worst track on this album. The only person who feel like he belong in this track by is Trey Songz.
Diddy.
No. Trey Songz, Jed. I'll talk about Diddy in a bit. The club beat for this real bouncy. This is like right up Trey Songz alley already. He's doing like these real shallow basic club songs anyway, right? But it's a shame that a man like Diddy, who's real push himself to do club songs on his, with it is like solo and collabo work, right? Come true with like this weak verse, and I was hearing this and I was just rolling my eyes, right? Like, this is what this guy says. First one to write a check in the earthquake. Same motherfucker that'll make the earth shake. Blowing money only way to make the earth spin. Your girlfriend caught up in my whirlwind. Used to move white girl out in Maryland. Now my girlfriend blonde like Marilyn. Bruh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Dog, Biggie could have write a better verse than this shit. Come on. Rick Ross he real try on this way. He threw some braggadocious bars here and there, but sorry, this is not a good fit for him. So this is like the skippable track for me, Jed. This didn't work.
Did he even write the verse at all? Trusting the writers.
Yeah, but dog, whoever goes right that
Ross pen, that Ross to Trey Songz pen that verse.
Dude, you didn't move white girl in Maryland. Come on. But anyway, no way. Your thoughts on number 1?
This is booty. Straight out. This is booty.
Yeah,
this did not need to happen.
No.
This did not need to happen. They could have find some other track. These three could have find something else to do other than this track, Daddy. This track
don't work at all.
Yeah, anything else you have to say about it, Ricardo, apart from that?
Yeah, it don't really work for me. I remember this, it's like, oh, Diddy, okay, alright, well, you ain't gonna really add anything to this because, well, you're Diddy at this point. But yeah, you're right about the Trey Songz thing is that because, well, at the time I didn't know who Trey Songz was. I was like, okay, there's a person. I had to do research on him. But I don't hate it as much as you all seem to, but it's just there for me.
Right. That's just there in the background, apparently. Alright, so next track we have, boys, MC Hammer, which doesn't feature MC Hammer, but it has a Gucci Mane in it, though. And here's the thing, right? This is trash, but this is my kind of trash, right? This is what I felt was missing from Teflon Don so far, but we needed the trashy coke rap songs, right? And this is it, right? And the theme of the topic is just so dumb, like you comparing yourself to MC Hammer, but dog, that Lex Luger beat though, trunk knocking, dog. And when I say the song is dumb, I mean dumb. I like, hey, the chorus. My gun dirty, my brick clean. I'm riding dirty, my dick clean. She talk dirty, but her mouth clean. Bitch, I'm MC Hammer. I'm about cream. Like, he has a line where he says, my baddest bitch is Latin, but they call me loco till I fuck him in the ass out in Acapulco. But dog, I will not lie, I was entertained by this shit. Not even Gucci Mane's verse, right, which I didn't really find was that big, but I don't know. For me, I just still baffle at how this man's still relevant in terms of like you could like young trap and drill rappers somehow kind of like to listen to Gucci Mane, for example. But anyway, right? But he might have a line where he says, "Blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, blowing up." I'm like MC Hammer. I put this on my grammar. But anyway, all in all, this is my kind of trash. I like this track. Doe Boi, your thoughts on MC Hammer?
Gucci can do the wrong in my book. Big Chap fan. He and OJ the Juice Man is probably my favorite two trappers.
Right.
So Gucci had a good spot on this track. The beat was in a Luga beat.
Yeah.
Ross, not really reading the lyrics, it's kind of dumb, but
but it's good dumb. It's entertaining dumb.
It's entertaining dumb.
Yeah.
It's entertaining dumb. When we listen in the car playing this, we just wilding out to this track. Being normal dummies, but now reading the lyrics and like, yo, this don't make sense.
I know, right? Ricardo, you sorry, go on.
But it still bangs. I'll still play it anyhow. When I was listening over the album, I was bucking to it.
Same here.
Good track.
Ricardo, your thoughts on MC Hammer?
Yeah. I exactly what all you were saying. The whole trash or your kind of trash. I mean, the track just flows to me. I was like, yeah, this bumping and thinking. But I'm not a big trap fan. But I could see why people was into this one. Yeah, it's a good track. Again, Gucci Mane is you say, okay, well, Gucci Mane can do some wrong in my book, but he totally added the track and fit in the style of the track for me perfectly. So I really like.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and now for the best track on this whole album. If I had like a top 5 list of Rick Ross songs, this would be there for sure. BMF, Blowing Money Fast, featuring Styles P. Right. I mean, my life is like LMC, which is losing money considerably, but like I was never able to attain the level of BMF. One day I will, maybe one day, but I don't know. But dog, this is like the standout cut on this album thread. The beat alone, like Suga's beat, sounds more lavish, more menacing than MC Hammer. Those thumbs, boys, like earth shattering, like doom, doom, doom. You know what I mean? The production on point.
That sub kick.
Yeah, boy,
because of that normal kick and then that doom,
doom. I remember the chorus when this track came out being incredibly popular when it came out, right? But I knew a lot of people had no idea who Big Meech is.
Or Larry Hoover,
right? So for those who don't know, Big Meech or Demetrius Flannery was the founder of the Black Mafia family, or BMF, and Larry Hoover is a reputed leader of the Gangster Disciples gang in Chicago, right? But the chorus was just catchy as fuck. You didn't even care. So everybody was like, I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover, right?
The funniest thing about this track is that how Ross get in trouble with gangmen for this. Because
that's surprised, actually.
The GDs them were saying that how he paid them to use Hoover name, Hoover in jail.
Right.
So he need to pay taxes to be saying how to call out the boss name now.
Right.
What the part no fly on here in Chicago.
Oh wow, did not know that. Wow. So look, there are so much there are quotables galore on this track, right? One of my favorite lines from Rose. Rose, that's my nickname. Cocaine running in my big vein. I love those two bars. I love that. Self-made, you just affiliated. I built it ground up. You bought it renovated. I got that Archie bunker, and it's so white I just might charge it double. And then, of course, we had Styles P. It has one of Styles P's most memorable bars ever. Did I mention guns from Red Dead Redemption, 9mm 50 clip extensions? Dude, who references, like who before Styles P ever reference Red Dead Redemption? Nobody did. And he make it sound so gangster, Jed. So gangster.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
this
well-
is the best track on the album. One of the best Rick Ross songs ever recorded. I love this track. Ricardo,
so,
anything
yeah,
you have to say about BMF?
So yeah, fully agree. This is probably, well, it's not my favorite on the album, but it is pretty high up. Yeah, again, we call him Styles P so gangster that just knowing himself makes him affiliated. So he really fits on this, even though like tonally it doesn't feel like Styles P for me, especially with the video.
Right.
But yeah, this is a great track. It's a track, really strong track for me overall. And again, many quotables, but it's not something. It's a track I kind of forgot. It's like, oh yeah, this was on the album and Styles P was on this album. I forgot for that while. But yeah, great track. Love this track.
Right. Doe Boi, anything else you have to say about this track?
This was the shit.
I know, right?
Bruh. This had to be everywhere that we go. This had to be thumping somewhere and we went buck because that beat just is playing now mood.
Yeah, boy. That beat is like I don't know, fire and brimstone, shit. Like dong. You know what I mean? Insane, shit.
And then and all of you just listen to me, you're waiting for that drop and Ross below. These motherfuckers hate me because I'm icy.
Yeah.
Yes, preach. Preach. So this is one of Ross' best tracks ever.
Yeah, hands down.
Hands down.
Right.
And it come out at the right moment at the right time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, now speaking of best Rick Ross songs, this right here is one of the most accessible of his tailor-made for radio songs. Aston Martin Music, featuring the former R&B Chrisette Michelle. She's my bae at that point in time, but and Drizzy Drake himself. Justice League's beat is so smooth. It's so satisfying. It's like almost like you just picturing yourself.
You don't call Justice League beat smooth. Lush. It does so much in it.
It's lush. It's lush. Right? Like, dude, every time I hear this song, I just feel like I in a Aston Martin car, AC on. I drive it along a street. To my right is like a Miami Beach shit in the daytime. That's just how it feels, way. Ross sounds fantastic over this beat. And basically, it's just him dedicating his song to his Ride or Die chick. This is like the Ride or Die chick anthem, basically. I love the hook that my former R&B Chrisette Michelle provides here. And I like how Drake compliments her with this moody kind of post hook, right? Which somehow manages to fit with the upbeat vibe of the song here. It's a shame though that the album version does not have Drake's verse, his third verse, because I always felt like it was great that he got a chance to rap over this beat now, and not just be typecast or as use the crooner, use as the guy who sings here. You know what I mean? I thought he had a great third verse, but unfortunately, it's not on the album version here. But all in all, yeah, one of Ross's best songs, and yeah, one of his easily his most accessible song to date. Ricardo, your thoughts on Aston Martin Music?
Yeah, you're right. The next up, Perfect Radio track. I remember when this came out, and I was like, yeah, this is a great radio track. Loved it. Again, I didn't know Chrisette Michelle at the time, but he was like, yeah, she had a great hook. Drake, is Drake.
Yeah, what did I have to do?
Yeah, that's the flat standard and quality that you're going to get from Drake, because that's how he makes the money.
That's how he makes the money.
So, but yeah, it's a solid radio track, solid club song. You can't go wrong with it. But nothing to write home about, because again, it's a track that I forgot within less than a year. Compared to other tracks on this album.
True.
Yeah, understood. Your thoughts on Aston Martin Music?
It's a viable track, a little too commercial for me, but he need that Ross. So that the avenue that he pushing for. Drake on it being Drakey.
Yep.
Chrisette Michelle she actually did a good job on the hook.
Yeah.
As I say, it's a little too commercial for me, but I could see its place on the album, and it needed and need fit.
Right. And now, last but not least, we get to the final track, which is All the Money in the World, featuring Raphael Sadiq. Not to be confused with the movie of the same name where people was like, fuck you, Kevin Spacey, and they kick him out, and Christopher Plummer came in, and he got the Oscar nomination. No, right? So here, Ross is more or less reflecting on his past, when he talks about his father who passed away, his ailing mother at the time, the present, in terms of him having money, but he's seen his friends more or less die, or, people that he die from gun violence, or kids and whatnot. And his future, basically, will he have enough to, sustain his family? He wants kids, and can he provide for them now? It's sentimental, and to me, it's like a kind of nice-ish way to end the album. Although he kind of fucks things up with the song chorus, the la 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 la's. It's like, ugh, right? And I imagine this could be a turn off for some Rick Ross heads there. But I like that Ross spares a couple of minutes for Raphael Sadiq to provide some fairly decent vocals, even though it's far from original. We talk about that time never felt so good, can't forget about you, and never would. Basic stuff, right? Reminiscent stuff, right? Overall, it's not a bad way to close the album off. It could have been a lot stronger and emotionally driven. Given the stuff that we got from the beginning of the album, but it is what it is. So, Doe Boi, your thoughts on All the Money in the World as a closer?
I really like this track. Perfect way to end off the album. With gay people are look at you as a person, as a man, your views, your things that you want to see in future and stuff.
Yeah.
This was Tears of Joy should have been to me. That why I say it hadn't too much on the album now. It already have that one sentimental song that grasps people, which is this one to me. Other people might feel Tears of Joy, but for me, this is the perfect way to end off the album. On that note, for somebody to just say, okay, well, Ross is not just this flamsy fat dude. He actually has some thought to.
Yeah, he has a heart. He has a heart. Yeah. Ricardo, your thoughts on All the Money in the World?
Yeah, good track. I like it as much as you guys do, but it's just a track that, again, perfect to end off the album. It cools off the album. I was like, I remember listening to it, and I was like, oh yeah. And again, just listen to it over. I listened to it in a while now, so I was like, oh yeah, this was the last track on the album. It's a nice little production from a production standpoint. It worked quite well now.
Yeah.
That's how I just saw it. Yeah, pretty good track. Nothing to write home about, admittedly, but yeah, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
But as you say, placement is a good way to cool off the album after.
Yeah.
All that BMF and thumping down the place and perfectly to cool off the album.
Agreed. Right. So my last words of the album though. So I listened to it again. I do understand why people say it's the best of his albums. Mainly it's just because of how accessible it is, right? It's more commercial, more mainstream, which is not a bad thing given, Ross and his, level of music basically. One thing though, and I'll just use a comparison to like Daytona from Pusha T that came out this year, right? I felt that he could have given us more of the coke rap, but I know he was going for this lavish stuff, more like not so much about selling the drugs, but more like having money and, driving fancy cars and all that kind of stuff. That's clearly the approach to the album here. But when you name your album Teflon Don though, you kind of had to wonder, where's the gangster shit here? We getting all this kind of like glamorized kind of stuff, right? And that's fine, right? But still, I wish that he could have given us a little bit more of the griminess, a little bit more of the coke rap, but do it in a smart way, like say how Pusha T's album was, where basically it was just kind of glamorizing it, yes, but more showing the dark side of it too. So it's like this, showing the yin and the yang basically of that life, right? And you take whatever it is, whatever you want, right? But here it's more like, yes, I have a lot of money and I'm glad to be here and and all that kind of stuff, but that's fine. But once again, you call the album Teflon Don, and we know you to be associated with a certain style of rap, you know what I mean? So we kind of didn't get much of that. But thankfully the production is so lavish and cinematic, it kind of elevates his style a lot though. And from there, well, it kind of really best shows how Russ able to choose these beats that like more or less fits what it is he wants to say. Like you are right, Doe Boi, he does have a great ear for beats, and you see it on great display here on this album. But the majority of the songs do, there's a few that I really would go back to, like that number one track, really wouldn't go to that at all. But yeah, I mean, there's much in this album to really like. Although I wouldn't go to my way to say it's the best album I heard from him. You know, I can't say that because I'm not a big Rick Ross fan. You know what I mean? But for what it's worth, I will still give this a very light 4 to 5. I would still say, give this one a listen. It still holds up. It still sounds good. Lyric wise, Ross has shown improvement here, and I felt that he's always gotten better with his other albums, even though he kind of falls flat on with a couple of tracks here or there with his other stuff. But still, here's where it's like, there's more to me than every day I'm hustling. I could actually do, big budget coke rap basically, or big budget glamour rap basically, and that's what he does here. That's how I see it, more like a big budget version of his formula basically. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that album. Your last thoughts on Teflon Don, Doe Boi?
Yeah, this album is a good album. I can't call it a classic. I rather, if people who want to call a Rick Ross album classic, say the album that dropped last year is a classic album. That rather me than you. I find that it's a classic album.
As you say that was the one that I actually really enjoyed though. I find a lot of people didn't really go back to it or really mention like in the year ends or whatnot. But yeah, I thought Rather You Than Me was great though, like shockingly great though.
Yeah, that to me that is his classic album.
Right.
This album, it good. It's a good Ross album, but he was still developing as an artist. 1 and 2, it ain't a lot of meat on this. In the sense that how it could have do with 2 or 3 more tracks.
Right.
Fatten up the album.
Okay. So you find you could have fattened it up, okay?
Yeah, fatten up the album because it have tracks that we know that you need and stuff. But as you say, being Teflon Don, we need some gangster shit. Put more gangster shit on here. If he had like
balance it out, really. That's all.
Let's
say don't take all the glammy stuff, just balance it. That's all.
Yeah, see all these sentimental tracks and things. Yeah, still keep that, but spread it.
Yeah.
So people will see, like, do it like Ready to Die. Ready to Die had both.
Yes. Ricardo, your last words on Teflon Don.
I get this album like a 6 out of 10. It have a couple of tracks that truly stands out, really, really stands out. But overall, there's a couple of tracks I don't love all that much. But they're solid tracks, and because Rick Ross is not the most brilliant, but he's just a more rappy version of DJ Khaled. It generally works quite well.
Yeah.
For me. But yeah, nothing. It's still the best of Rick Ross in my opinion. This is I won't say height of his career or anything like that, but still pretty damn good to say, oh yeah, I could actually go back to this. Again, Freemason for me is just still a classic. I listen to that almost all the time. But everything else is like, all right, well, it's just an album I remember and enjoy, but not necessarily visiting it back as some kind of classic or anything like that, admittedly.
Right, fair enough. I think it's really the fans who may call it a classic, or the people who were just amazed by how the sound of that album was back in 2010, and that's why I guess people define this thing as a classic. But I don't know, I guess in due time. But I do think that Ross has potential to actually put out a classic album one of these days. Rather You Than Me was great in my opinion as well too, Doe Boi. But I think he does have potential of actually putting out a great album. I mean, if Pusha T could do it, and that's not to say that I wasn't a fan of Pusha T before, but I never thought that album-wise he could have put out a classic. And to me, D2 is like the best album of 2018 at the moment. Right? But yeah, I mean, if Pusha could do it, then why not Ross? You know what I mean? So who knows? We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with all that being said, Ricardo, where can we find you online, good sir?
As Sat RMEDDY on Twitter. This is at RMEDDY on Twitter, and then you could just type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook. You'll find me there.
All right, Doe Boi, where can we find you online?
You can find me at Good Job Doe Boi on Instagram.
Alright, that's it. Okay.
Yep.
You could also find me on Instagram. Just look for Matthew Bailey Reviews. I'm also on Twitter. Just look for Legally Black MGB. MGB in capital letters. And you can find me on Facebook. Just look for my name, Matthew Bailey, along with a Legally Black blog official fan base, where you find the link to this podcast here as well as the others that we've done over the year, actually, I should say. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This was Matthew Bailey and
Ricardo Medina.
and
Doe Boi.
we are signing off from another episode of Retrospect Reviews. Until the next one, take care, peace.